Hey, if you go to my website at this address, you can pick up a free practice document and you can pick up free printable instructions for today's lesson. I just thought you might want to know. Welcome to How to Create a Triple Table of Contents Part 2 Format. The first thing we'll do is we will format our table of contents in details. Then we will format the easy one, our contents in brief or at a glance. And finally, we will format our individual each chapter tables of contents. Well, that's enough of me. Let's go on ahead and get started. Hey, welcome back to the video. This is part 2 format of a triple table of contents. When we left off, we had finished inserting our contents in brief, we had inserted our contents in details, and we had inserted our per chapter tables of contents. Now you notice they all look the same. They're all pretty plain Jane. Well, this video we're going to fix that. The first thing we want to do is to format our contents in details. Now we can see it is in 2 columns. Let's zoom in here some so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to select our very first heading 1, turn on our paragraph marks, right click. Now to change the font, you just change it as normal. Okay, I'm going to go with Verdana, and because that's my main heading, I'm going to bump it up to 16, give it some bold and some metallic. Also, while it is selected, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to paragraph. Now, for the amount of spacing that I want after the line, I'm going to bump that up to 6, and before the line, I'm going to bump it up to 18 points of space. Now here's why I did that. When I click OK, now look, there's this big nice chunk of space in between each group, each chapter. Okay? Now, let's go to our second heading. Let's select the whole thing. Whoops. Heading number 2. We're going to right click. I'm going to change the font just like I did before. This time I'm going with Arial, and I'm going to make it a little smaller. Go to 14 point. Now to change the indentation, I'm going to right click and go to paragraph. Where it says indentation, guess what we're going to do? Okay, your left indent. Now I've got 0.15. This is in inches. Now for more uniformity, I'm going to bump that up to 0.2 inches. I'm going to do all the rest of them the same way. Now also for uniformity, the amount of space after each line I want to 0. Now before each line, I want only 2 points of space. These points are the same as your font points. Okay, I'm going to click, make sure it says single spacing. I'm going to click OK. See how they tightened up afterwards? Okay, now let's go on to our heading number 3. Select the whole puppy. Whoops, get the whole puppy, just your very first instance of your heading 3. Change your font as normal. I'm going with the smaller Tahoma. I'm going to leave it at 11. Now I'm going to put bold here. Okay, if you want italic or you want underline, that's perfectly fine. This is how you make these things bold. Okay, right click, go to paragraph, maintaining our uniform spacing. I'm going with 0, and then I'm going to go with 2 points to maintain our uniformity. Now the indentation, right now it's at 0.31, but I'm going to bump that up to 4. Click OK. There we go. One more to go. Select the whole puppy and change the font as normal. I'm keeping Tahoma because it's a smaller font, leaving it at 11. Now I'm going to right click. I'm going to paragraph again, maintaining my spacing, 0 for space after and 2 points before. Now for my indentation, I just want a more subtle. I'm going with 0.5 inches for a more subtle indent. Click OK, and there we go. We are done with our fonts. Let's zoom out a little bit, take the paragraph marks off, Now that looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? We can see our groupings a little better. But we're not quite done. We're going to have to turn on our paragraph marks again. At the very end of each group, you're going right between the number and the paragraph mark. You want to click, okay? Then you want to hit enter. Okay, you're going to do that with each one. This is for spacing purposes now and for later. Make certain between each one you get, hit the enter mark. Let me get this one. Let me get our last one here, even the last one. Whoops, almost missed one. Check it over. That's good. Now we insert our column breaks. Right here at the bottom, that's our first group, second group. I want 2 groups per columns. So I'm going to, that's paragraph mark we just put in, go up to page layout, breaks, column break. Now we have our 2 groups. Let's go down here to the bottom of our second group, breaks, column break. Now, watch what happens. See how unevenly spaced these 2 are? We're going to fix that with our column break. Breaks, column, pow. There we go. The last thing we have to do is state the obvious, table of contents in details. But with all this section breaking and columning, how am I supposed to do that? It's not hard. We insert a text box. There we go. Let's go down here, draw your text box. This is real easy. Just draw it anywhere, just long enough, and start typing in contents in details. Select that puppy, and usually Bookman Old Style is a font that goes pretty well. Let's bump that up to about 20. Yeah, let's go 22 points. Give it some italics. Now, if you do not want the box, very easy. Left click on it to select it, right click, and go down to Format Shape. Here we go. Now, first thing, fill color. Make sure it's white. That's usually the default. Line color, no line. Click Close, and here we go. No, no lines. Now, I'm going to select and Control C to copy. I'm going to go down to the next page and Control V to paste. There's our contents in details. Up here, let's center this just a hair better. Okay, there we go. Turn off our paragraph marks. Let's get rid of our little word details here. Not too shabby. Now let's go up and format our table of contents in brief. Now the first thing we notice about our contents in brief is, well, it's a little high on the page. Okie dokie, turn on our paragraph marks and just hit enter to push it down just a little bit. Push it down, let's back that up. Okay, the next thing we notice is that our leader lines, the dots leading to our numbers, little bit on the short side. That's because they're mirroring the same distance as in the contents in details. Now to fix this, okay, I want you to pay attention to this L shape right up here. Now, do not move it yet. Okay, I'm just checking. See, you don't want to move it yet because it will throw off all the leader lines at the bottom. You fix this, go up to undo button where it says undo, click it one time. Guess what? It's all fixed. Okay, here is how you do it properly so you don't get that error. Hold down your left mouse, select the whole puppy. So it's all selected. Then you go up, grab your right tab stop, and you can move it wherever you want. Let's take a fast check downstairs. See? Unaffected. That's how you do it. That's the trick. Sometimes this L shape, this right tab stop, sometimes it will turn white. It'll look like it's not there, but it is. Now for me, I'm going to go in just a hair. Now to center this, or to move it to the right, whichever you want. You can use the Home tab, Paragraph. It's to the left. You can move it to the center. You can move it to the right, back to the left. Won't matter. I'm going to put it in the center. Okay, see, unaffected down here. Now, if you want to change the font, right-click and just change the font however you wish. You want to change your spacing, you can go to Paragraph and change your spacing however you wish. I just thought I'd toss that out. Going down here, and I'm going to copy, select it, Control-C to copy, and then I'm going to click up here, left-click anywhere, Control-V to paste. Why work any harder than you have to? Select this and change it to Contents in BRIEF. Contents in Brief. And we will delete off our little marker there. Okay, undo the paragraph marks. We have finished our Contents in Brief. Now, I have saved per chapter tables of contents for last because you have to handle them special. First thing we need to do is we need to tear off our navigation pane, alright, and then we just reshape it so that we can get at just our chapters with one click. We're going to need that. Move it down in the corner. The next thing we need to do is use our View Split View. Just left click on it, click anywhere. Now, the top part up here, left click and scroll upwards. We want to be able to see and keep an eye on our table of contents in details. I'm going to left click and move this up a little bit. Okay, now in the bottom, left click and click our chapter 1. So the first thing we need to do in the chapters is start stripping away or normalizing all our fonts. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and I'm going to raise up. Okay, first thing, left click, we want to normalize our text. Now my text down here is Arial, it's 11 point, so I want to make all my text, my table of contents, I'm going to make it a little different, Verdana, and go with 11 point. Try to keep it, select the whole puppy, select everything. Okay, we're going to do lots of things at once. First thing, we're going to normalize everything to Verdana. We're going to normalize it all to 11 point. The next thing we're going to do is get rid of the specialty bold and italics. Click bold and italic or underline 3 times. First, to get rid of the specialty, turn it all bold and turn it all off. You will have no problems later on. Again with italics 3 times. Turn off the specialty, turn everything italic, turn it all off. Okay, underline would be the same thing if you had underlining. Okay, next, as long as we're all selected, we're going to right click and go to paragraph. Now, because we're going to be using the format painter later, we're going to turn off or turn to 0 all indentation right at first. Also, because this contents is part of the rest of my document, I'm going with 0 spaces, amount of space after each line, and I only want 2 points of space before, so it will look more like the rest of my chapter text. Click OK. Yeah. As long as we also are selected, let's get our title in view. We want to go up here and find our right tab stop. And just like we did with contents in brief, we're going to pull our leader lines out some. Okay? This is just like you did with the contents in brief. Now, we have normalized all our text. Here's the fun part. As long as it's all selected, go up here to Home and double-click the Format Painter. Double-click it, go to the next chapter, normalize it all. Go to the next chapter, select, normalize it all. We'll go back to the first chapter, hit Escape, turn the Format Painter off. Now, let's get rid of our first heading that is a repeat, swimming, fish, and swim. Let's delete that off. Let's delete this one off. Going to the next chapter, let's delete that one off. Back to chapter 1. To put in specialty indentation, okay, you have to do this a certain way. You must select a minimum of 2. I'm holding down the control key. You have to select a minimum of 2 of any heading style. I'm just going to go 3 because I know I want all those indented. Right click, go to paragraph. Now I want a subtle indent. Add indentation, and then I'm just going 0.1 because this is in chapter. I just want a subtle indent. Now look what happened up here. Oops, look at goldfish. Oh, and look, the lines, oh, it's destroyed. No, not really, because look down. Oh, goldfish turned bold down here. There is a fix. Pay attention to this. Go up to the undo button up here at the top. Click 1 time. Now look what happened. All our numbers went back and our bold went away. We got what we wanted. I don't know why this is. That is how you fix it. 1 click on the undo button, and that's why we have to keep an eye up here. Now the rest is real easy. Double click the format painter. Alright, go to the next chapter, and it's all point and shoot. Alright, any ones that you want indented, just point and shoot. Go back to chapter 1, hit escape. Alright, I'm going to indent the next, our heading 3s, selecting 2. Okay, right click, go to paragraph. The last heading was 0.1. I'm going 0.2. Click OK. This time nothing happened upstairs. We're good to go. Double click the format painter and fire away. You can this is real easy. What do they say, like shooting fish in a barrel? Let's go back to chapter 1, hit escape. What about bold, italic, or underline? This is how you put in any extra bold, italic, or underlining you want. Again, select 2 or more of the very same heading style. Right click, and we want bold. Okay, now watch again. Upstairs, I'm going to click bold. Look upstairs. Uh-oh, it tore it up. Remember, what is the one thing fix? Go up to the undo button, click 1 time. Click, and boom, she is fixed, and we got our bold. Go up to format painter, double click, and point and shoot. I'm not kidding. You do italic the same way, you will do underline the same way. This is not hard, a little time consuming if you got a lot of chapters, but it is not hard stuff. Hit escape. Get out of the format painter. Well, the only thing left, as far as I can see, is to center this puppy. Now, you will left click, you will hold down the left mouse, select it all, and just like you did with the contents in brief, you go up to the home tab, left, you can send it to the center, you can put it to the right. Hey, you might want a picture in here or a text box with extra information. I don't know, it's your table of contents, it's your manual. I'm going with the center. You do not use format painter for this. You have to do this individually. Select the next chapter. Alright, and fortunately center is on the little mini menu. Go to the next chapter, select. Alright. Uh-oh, here comes the music. We know what that means. Time to put the navigation pane back. Let's get rid of our window. Come on, navigation pane. Go back where you... Well, it's okay. And let's see what we've got. I'm going to zoom out some. There is our title page, our contents in brief. There is our contents in details in 2 columns, and of course our per chapter tables of contents, all nicely formatted. This is how you do it. That's how it's done. Thank you for watching the video, and please enjoy your day.